Hi everybody, this is Destined Divinity Tarot, and today we are looking at what is the reason for your suffering. And this could be an event, a situation, whatever. It could be past, present, and whatever it is, I'm assuming that you know what it is if you clicked on this video. So, whatever it is that's on your mind that feels like suffering to you, we're looking at the greater purpose for why you went or are going through it. I came up with this idea because my aunt was talking on the phone with me, and she said, "You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it." And she couldn't remember where she got that from, but me, being the Harry Potter fan that I am, remembered it's when Ron was reading the tea leaves. And he said to, I think it was Harry, that he's going to suffer, but he's going to be happy about it. So that's the point of this video, looking at the good in the bad. So we have, the first group is the Six of Wands. I lead by example. And that's with the Obsidian. And then the Six of Swords. I adventure into the great unknown with the blue calcite. And then group 3 is the Six of Cups. With the Chalcedony. And I know some of you might be thinking, 666, oh God, it's the devil number, but that's kind of the joke here. 666 is actually a very positive synchronicity as an angel number. And it's basically to remind you that everything has a reason, and when you see it, it should remind you that you're on the right path, or at least that there is a divine purpose for the path you're on. So go ahead and pick your pile, and I'll see you there. Hi, group 1. So you chose the Six of Wands. Such a vibrant card. I love this one. And the phrase for this card is, I lead by example. And the Obsidian. This is actually a very, very special stone to me because I've had it since I was like 7 years old. I don't think that I've owned anything else as long as I've owned this piece of obsidian. And if you don't already know, obsidian is made in lava. So it's a volcanic rock. And I think that it's very fitting because, I mean, the look of this card, I mean, you could kind of see it as a volcano just erupted with all these vibrant colors. And I just had that song, Walk on Water with Eminem and Beyonce go through my head. Like, I walk on water, but like I walk on fire. So we're looking at the greater purpose for your suffering. And it feels like it's something that you're going through currently. That doesn't have to be true for everybody, but it just seems that way. And I from this card, I'm getting that you kind of, what's the word? I'm so sorry. What's the word I'm looking for here? Impulsive. I'm getting that you're a little impulsive, and that your greater purpose was that well, to teach you something. And I think it was to teach you to to think through your actions before you make them, to not be so impulsive. But we will get some more information on that with your other cards. All right, so by the way, this is the Starman Tarot that we're using today. So Spirit, why did Group 1 go through whatever they went through or are going through? Why is Group 1 going through their suffering? What is the greater purpose for Group 1 suffering, please, Spirit? I just heard I ruin everything. So with this Four of Pentacles that I can already see, I'm wondering if maybe you blew an opportunity, or you maybe had some sort of, did a gamble. You weren't quite as lucky as you were hoping. What is the greater purpose, please? Oh, shoot. I mean, we didn't need all that. But, okay. So, let's see. Sorry, this wasn't supposed to take this long. Usually they all just start falling out like when I shuffle. But apparently today, this fell on the floor. Today, they don't want to come out so quickly. Okay, all right. Definitely want one of these here. Maybe we want two of them. You know what? I'm going with it. So, High Priestess, Four of Pentacles, and then the Starman, Ten of Swords. Aha, yeah, there's that. I ruined everything. Sorry, I need to make more space here. And then, oh, the Ten of Cups. Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Let's see. And then on the back of the deck is the Ace of Wands. That was my Bluetooth speaker turning off. If that noise weirded you out. If it were me, I'd be looking around like, what the fuck was that? And not even realize that it was the video. Anyways, so getting into your reading here. What is the greater purpose for your suffering? So starting off with the High Priestess here. She is, I mean, first thing I think of when I see her is always intuition. And this card in particular, I look at her and I'm just like, I feel like she knows everything. You know, there's this sense of, what's the phrase? Not phrase, but the word enlightenment. You know, enlightenment. You know, a deeper divine sense of knowing. So bringing that with your Six of Wands, I lead by example. And that gamble feeling I was getting earlier, I think that what brought you into this suffering, I kind of feel like this is a self-sabotage kind of situation where you might have thought you knew what you were doing, but you really didn't. Like, or maybe it's that you thought you knew what you wanted, but you were just totally wrong. And then, so coming up after that, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I would do that. I'm such a klutz. Maybe you can relate. That's why I had that moment during your video. If I'm not a klutz, if I'm not alone and you're a klutz too, let me know in the comments. You know, I would love to hear that it's not just me. All right, Four of Pentacles. Like I said, I feel like you maybe missed out on an opportunity, took a gamble, and then I dropped my camera. So I'm just like, I'm feeling like you dropped the ball. And maybe you don't really want to admit that to yourself because usually you're so, usually you know what you want and you go for it. But this time around, I think you were really a bit torn between your intuition and your logic. And I think that going logically is what led to this ruin down here. Because the situation was calling for you to trust your intuition. So then we've got the Star Man here. Number 1. And I kind of want to read from the book for that one. I will blow your mind. Manifest your reality. Ideas are communicated and brought into the physical world with ease. You have everything you need to create the world you desire. Okay. I definitely think that's true. I mean, you've got a lot of power here with the High Priestess and the Starman showing up, and then the Ace of Wands down here. And the 2 tens, it's clear that there is a lot of power at work here. So why did you suffer? I think that you suffered and you had to go through this ruin, this disconnect. See, like, this is bringing me back to the idea of where you were just torn between your logic and your intuition. And when you trusted your logic like you usually do, you completely ignored this emotional side of you. Like this is not only that you were ignoring your intuition, you were ignoring your emotions. And it led to this ruin, you know, self-sabotage. See, they're both coming out of the same root right here, you know, so like they're clearly not meant to be enemies, and yet this one on the left appears to be, he's acting like he's helping, but he's really just contributing to the destruction. So I think that you really needed to learn to trust your emotion, and trust that trust in your passion, and maybe show your passion a little more. And this is another card about like creative thinking and ideas, and like igniting the fire, so to speak. Just like how the Starman was saying, like you needed to go through this suffering to get you out of your warped thinking, out of your one-sided, like impulsive, push forward, my way is right thinking. Like you needed to get out of the box, and you needed to get the fuck out of your ego so that you could open yourself up to being able to receive this 10 of Cups energy of fulfillment, you know, like you need to learn to trust your gut, because there are things your intuition knows that will never really make sense. Like for instance, you know, you're a starseed, empath, light worker of some sort. Every single one of you in that world has ran into an energy vampire, and you have experienced allowing them to suck you dry. And the point I'm trying to make here is that when that happened, it never makes any sense, right? Like the things that these people do, it never makes any fucking sense to you. Number one, because you're like, I would never fucking do that. That makes no sense. Why would you do that to a person? You know, you cannot make sense of certain things. And this isn't exactly totally feeling like you needing to make sense of something like that. I feel like you're trying to make sense of something positive. I mean, there's really only one card here showing anything other than confidence and power. And that being said, I'm pretty sure that you ruined a good thing. And that's what your problem is. I don't think you could make sense of why it seemed like a good thing. Like you wanted it, but you didn't. It's going to be different for everybody. Take what resonates and leave the rest, as one of my favorite YouTube channels, Asotero, always says. She says, take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't let it take from you. So if that made any kind of sense, please let me know in the comments. The greater purpose for your suffering was to get you to awaken to your emotions and trust your intuition, so that you stop with the self-sabotage. So anyways, thank you so much for listening to this video. If you got all the way through that reading, you're a trooper. I know sometimes I talk a lot. So if that made any kind of sense to you, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Hi, group 2. So you have the Six of Swords. I adventure into the great unknown. And the blue calcite. So pretty. I love this stone. This is my go-to for meditation and magic, just to calm myself. And it represents or the zodiac sign that correlates to this stone is Cancer, so maybe that means something to you. I'm a Cancer, so that's another reason I really love this stone. And then all right, the Six of Swords. So we're looking at the greater purpose for your suffering. I venture into the great unknown. I just heard the word faith. And I'm sensing that you were faced with something big, like that's what I'm getting from like this face-off that they appear to be having here. Like anybody who were to be faced with something like this blue face here on the side, I'm pretty sure that you'd be like, I don't know, that would definitely throw me off, but this guy is showing no fear. And fear, when I said that I got a very strong feeling. And so I'm thinking that this, whatever you went through was like your biggest fear coming to life. So let's get some more information here, shall we? All right, this is the Starman Tarot, by the way, that we're using today. So Spirit, what is the greater purpose for Group 2's suffering? Why did Group 2 go through what they went through? Spirit, please, why? Oh, which? Why did Group 2 have to experience what they went through? What is the greater purpose behind Group 2's suffering? I feel like this one wants to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just one round. Alright. First off, strength. And then the Lovers. Ooh. Ooh hoo hoo. Oh. Strength in the Lovers. Starting off with some strong major arcanas here. The Alien. Oh, okay. Speaking of the major arcana. Okay, alright. Alright. What else we got here? The Ace of Pentacles. And the 10 of Swords. Crazy. That came out in pile 1 also. So maybe if you were somewhat attracted to that pile as well, there could be some messages in there for you. And then on the back of the deck is the 2 of Wands. Okay. Well, starting off with Strength here. I think this is showing up because what you went through took a lot of strength to get through. And I'm getting this feeling that what you went through really didn't make much sense. And I say that just because two lions being tamed doesn't really make much sense. But I mean, strength, this is Leo energy, and that, you know, it shows that you have a lot of pride, and it shows that you don't really, I don't think that you like to show your sensitive side very often. So you kind of hide behind this whole what's the word? I want to say liony. That's not a word, but like you hide behind this liony facade, you know. And considering, like, based off of this card, I'm pretty sure I said earlier that it seems like you think pretty logically, and this situation being so like unlogical, I mean, I think it threw you off. I think that like the Hermit coming up right after this, the Lovers, it's as if like that was your reaction, was to hermit yourself, to alienate yourself. And I don't know why I keep saying the Hermit. I'm so sorry. In this deck, it's the alien. Excuse me. But I think that you ran from or lost some kind of love, or maybe you just, I feel like it came down to a point where you needed to communicate the strength of your feelings, and you just couldn't, because you couldn't make sense of your feelings. And these feelings are super, like, with this 10 of Swords, the feelings in this group, this is heartbreaking. Like, the energy inside of this group is heartbreaking, but it's like it's being completely ignored. You know, like, I don't even think, I think that you think that you're over it. Legit. Like, it feels like up until you got right here, right now, you thought that this didn't even bother you anymore. But I think it's hindering your ability to love again, pretty much. Because you've denied, like, you've denied how strongly you, strongly you feel things. And I did, when I put these two together, I kind of thought it was hilarious because the Six of Swords and like the whole energy going on here with this card, with the logicalness, the practicality, and like the head-on sort of way of dealing with things is coming from here. And then this stone is literally like representing that you have really strong intuition and some sensitivity coming from here and some belief in magic coming from here when normally I think you're very I think that like you are spiritual, but you really don't show that to people. You know, like you're clearly got enough superstitions and enough belief to watch a tarot video. But like I said, the way you think is I don't think that you really remember on a day-to-day basis that everything does happen for a reason. I think that whatever happened really caused you to lose faith. And there is some mourning coming from this group. And, you know, breaking up with somebody that you were in love with can feel like grief just as much as somebody important to you passing on. And if this is a situation where somebody important to you passed on, as I was looking at this face up here, I heard I'm always with you. So maybe there's a sign in this card or in some of these other cards that can tell you if that message was for you or not. But all of this mixed with the I adventure into the great unknown, I feel like you hear the word adventure and you're like, hell yes, I want that. I want that so bad, you know. And then you hear unknown. Stop. Like, no. Like, I don't want the unknown. That's, see, I'm hesitating. I can barely speak. That must be how you feel whenever you don't know what to expect. And that is understandable. Totally understandable. But the greater purpose for your suffering, I'm sorry, I know I trail off and repeat myself a lot. But the greater purpose for your suffering, I'm pretty sure, was to get you to have faith in your past. Not past. I don't know. That sounded like I was saying past and path at the same time. But this does feel like something that you went through. This feels like a past situation more than something that you're going through, but that could be different for everybody. Just change the tenses as you need to, because, I mean, I have no idea who's going to click on this video. Don't throw away all of these messages just because I've said that this feels like a past situation, if for you it isn't. I was just hearing that part from The Princess Bride, where that guy's like, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die." maybe if this is a situation where somebody passed, maybe you guys watched that movie together or something. But I think that the point in that coming to my head is basically just a determination, really. And I think Spirit is determined to get you to have a little faith, because things are not always going to make sense. Just like the movie The Princess Bride. ah. You can't control everything. And you can't make everything make sense. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut and believe that there's a reason. I think that you've looked for the answers before, and I don't think I gave you the answer that you wanted. Because having faith is really hard for you, considering how practically you can be. If it doesn't all add up the way that you expect it to, then you're gonna move on to something that does add up. But with situations of the heart like this, with strong feelings like this, you can't just put those off. I'm feeling called to tell you, group 2, that there is strength in knowing when to stop searching for answers and just letting things be, letting things go the way that they're meant to. So, if that made any kind of sense to you, please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hi, group 3. So, you chose the 6 of Cups. With the Chalcedony. I really like this stone because it's, so rough and earthy on the outside. And then, like, on the inside, it almost shines like diamonds. It's so pretty. And I like the name too, Chalcedony. And this correlates with the zodiac signs Cancer and Scorpio, which are polarities in the zodiac. So that's another reason why I love this stone. It's like you can literally see it too. You can see like Capricorn chilling on this side and Cancer chilling on this side. It's even kind of like, how crabs have a shell. Anyways, so we're looking at the greater purpose for your suffering. Why did you have to go through the pain? The 6 of Cups, the phrase that goes with this one is, "I am in wonder of life." And that gives me the sense that you needed a spark of creativity, so to speak. The 6 of Cups is about, having a childlike view of the world in a positive way, like not in an immature way, but just how children always have they see things more positively. They don't look at the bad all the time. And and when you're a child, your problems are so, most of the time when you're a child, your problems should be minuscule. That's not for every child. I know that firsthand, but it also is a card about soulmates and love in a lot of traditional tarot decks. But what I'm getting here is like, the reason for your suffering. I've more than any of the other piles, this one feels like something that you went through a long time ago. That changed you. So honestly, if the situation on your mind right now is something that is current, that you're going through right now, then I would suggest maybe pick another pile, because this truly is calling out to me as a childhood wound. Something that happened in your formative years that made you suffer some sort of trauma. But we're looking for the greater purpose about it. And just based off this card, I can tell you that the greater purpose, one of the reasons it was simply to make you the person that you are. So let's get some more information. So Spirit, why did group 3 go through what they went through? What is the greater purpose of group 3's suffering? Why did group 3 have to go through all the pain? What is the greater purpose? Interesting. There's Ace of Pentacles. That showed up in group 2. So if you were attracted to group 2 a little bit as well, then maybe you want to take a look at that one. There could be some messages in there for you. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because group 2 had a really heavy sort of energy to it. And being that we're talking about an inner childhood wound here, I mean, that's pretty heavy. So anyways, let's see what we got here. Ace of Pentacles, the Lovers. Whoa, okay. All right, now we're getting weird. Temperance. Sorry, the reason that it's weird is because the Lovers came out in group 2 in the same spot. So, yeah, crazy. All right. And we have the King of Cups and the 8 of Cups. You know, Honestly, I filmed the first two readings, and then when it came down to doing the third one, I I got this feeling of of anxiety and mental anguish and deep rooted pain and deep rooted trauma. Like I could sense that right away, and it made me hesitate. I was like, oh my gosh, like almost. I mean, I was nervous. I was nervous to get into this reading, and I had to calm myself. I had to chill out for a minute and recenter. And I think that has to be something that you can relate to, because in your childhood, I'm sensing that when you went through these kinds of moments of just anguish, I don't think that you really had anybody there for you. Like, I don't think you had a shoulder to cry on. I don't think you had somebody really giving a fuck. I really just don't. I don't think that you I don't think you did. Like, I think you had to learn how to deal with your emotions on your own, and maybe you had to learn to ignore them in front of other people, because I think you were growing up a in an environment of people that were really deep rooted in materialism. And this cat creature thing up here is calling out to me. It's like it's yelling. It's like it's yelling for some attention in the midst of all this that's going on around him. You know, I don't think that this. You must not have felt very seen. That's what I'm getting. I'm simply getting that you truly did not feel seen, and that you felt you had to hide your emotions growing up. And but with the Lovers and Temperance here, like, I think that naturally you felt deeply. And so being shamed over your emotions really did a number on you. I think that I mean, a lot of people do grow up that way. A lot of people are taught that showing emotion is weakness. And a lot of people are taught, you know, that uh, not to care too much, you know, because it can take you out of your motivation. It, you know, you don't feel so grounded sometimes when you're lost in a sea of emotions. But you truly felt deeply at a young age. I'm getting old soul vibes for sure here. And mirroring vibes as well. I mean, that you can, there's a mirroring aspect here and so many in this card. Just both of them. Like, I think that took the way people treated you and started to see yourself that way. I think that you felt so deeply and so often, and the way that you were, when people taught you that was weakness, it made you feel ashamed, because if that's true, then you're like the weakest person out there. I'm here to tell you right now, feeling deeply is not weakness. It is strength beyond all measure. Caring and love and the ability to walk in somebody else's shoes are all very strong characteristics of a person. You are not weak. And the reason for this video is, what is the greater purpose for your suffering? So what is the greater purpose for the fact that you were born an old soul, an old spiritual, highly evolved, loving, intuitive, empathic soul? Why were you born in a place that didn't accept that? And like I said earlier, it was to make you who you are. I think that throughout your childhood and your life since growing up more, I think that you know how to deal with this Eight of Cups turmoil better than most people do. I think that you turned into this flying trophy because of the things that you went through. You know, you're the light, you're the positivity inside of the chaos, and you feel so deeply, but you are in control of it, and you needed to be able to do that. You needed to learn that. You needed to learn how to control yourself, and I guess part of the way that you learned to do that was by having to hide it throughout your childhood, and then growing up and having to learn how to heal from the shame that it made you feel. Healing is huge here. You know, healing and love and feelings are so apparent coming from your energy. I think you needed to go through a lot as a child. I think you needed to go through a lot of situations so that you experienced a lot, so that you were ready for your divine destiny. And I did not say that just because I named my channel Destined Divinity Tarot. You went through what you went through to prepare you for your divine destiny, and I'm not taking it back. So you just need to check out your last card on the back of the deck. the Chariot. So, oh man, and you know what? I can't. I have to. I saw the Two of Pentacles underneath the Chariot, and I feel like I need the Two of Pentacles. So, first of all, how crazy that we pulled the Chariot. Like, I've been thinking major water energy this whole time. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I mean, you got major Scorpio screaming out of this King of Cups, and you have Cancer coming from the stone here and the Chariot, and then Pisces with this Six of Cups and this Eight of Cups. A lot of water energy. And then earth energy too. And like I said, this represents Cancer and Capricorn. You know, water and earth. And that's pretty much what we're seeing is water and earth. A little bit of air here with the Lovers representing Gemini, but the Chariot. The Chariot and the Two of Pentacles. They both of these images are so sure of themselves. And I just heard make a difference. You make a difference to people. You have this ability to push forward through anything because of how you suffered. Like it's like you figured out your strengths and never looked back. You know, it's like you accepted yourself for who you are. You stood in your power. You made the big change, the big steps forward. You made choices based off of your inner truth. And you know what? There are so many people who don't know how to do that. They don't know how to follow, you know, their inner truth. They don't know how to express it. A lot of people hide from even, let me put it like this. How strongly you feel things is like a lesser person than you could not handle a minute inside of your emotions. I don't know how to say this without being insulting to other people. Okay. The way that you your empathy and your care and your drive and your compassion and control all stems from your suffering. You had to go through that to become who you are. I mean that so literally. Like, to I feel like you're a very spiritual, empathic person. I feel like you are a rarity. You know, like diamond in the rough. And diamonds are formed under immense pressure. I don't think you need to hear anything else, honestly. You're meant for great things. You have an insane life ahead of you. You have a beautiful purpose on this earth. It's people like you that give me hope. It's people like you that are the reason that I have more faith than fear in this world. Oh gosh, don't tell group 1 and group 2, but I feel like I just need Spirit. What does group 3 need to hear right now? What message do you have for group 3? Spirit, what do you need group 3 to hear right now? I can't. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that I can't stop laughing. I'm so sorry. But you'll understand here in like 2 seconds. I got the Chariot and the 2 of Stones, which is the 2 of Pentacles. So what do you need to hear right now in regards to your greater purpose? Harmony, balance. Just, you know what? Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. You have a beautiful, beautiful destiny ahead of you, and you're gosh, I'm sorry. You're gonna do great things. You're gonna do great things because of the way that you can connect to people. Because of the fact that you're so down to earth from everything that you went through. You're so humble, and honestly, like you could toot your horn. Like, you're amazing. Like, but you don't toot your horn because it's just not you. You know, you're down to earth, you're grounded, you bring people peace. And I feel like part of your divine destiny is to bring harmony to others. And you're an expert. You're an expert because your whole entire life was light worker, empath, healer 101. Like, You were born for this. So that one was pretty long. And if you stuck through it all the way, thank you for hearing me out, and thank you for letting me read your cards for you. Anyways, if this made any kind of sense to you, pile 3, please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.